Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and we are going to channel the divine masculine energies right now. I've come into an abundance of activations and light code energies. Over the last 24 hours, I was actually in bed very early last night. I think I went and had a bath and cleared my energy just before 6 p.m. and I was laying in bed long before 7. So a lot of energy came in yesterday with that 3-3 portal gateway. I also came into all kinds of downloads, an abundance of downloads as to kind of where the masculine collective is at right now, as they're kind of in this death transformation, accepting all of these energies. I do keep being shown the Wheel of Fortune card in this deck. So I feel things are moving forward. I feel this activation has taken place with many of the masculines. A lot of serious light code activations. When it comes to this mystical energy that's kind of been saturating the collective, a lot of instant manifestation energies coming through. It's like the gateway of contraction when it comes to having those labor pains, when it comes to, birthing this new timeline, this new life, this new cycle. I think a lot of the masculines are experiencing like a heavy decrease, a limitation of their financial resources at this time is what came through. And this really is to kind of maximize the potential of their spiritual development as well. So a lot of the masculines are fantasizing about the divine feminine right now and recognizing that feeling in the heart and the value that the feminine holds when it comes to the beginning of this next cycle. So a lot of responsibility, I feel, has been recently delegated when it comes to New Earth leadership and these connections. And I feel a lot of third eye visions for the masculine, and he's really needing to keep his cool as all of this energy is kind of pushing this big release of all of these feelings. The masculine has been very selective as to what he's shown people wearing that mask. And I feel this deep understanding is coming forward that the masculine kind of needs to assume responsibility, assume his leading role. A lot of financial strain, I feel, and this is creating like some hothead energy. I went to tap in and I felt like this pressurized energy all around my upper chakras, like around my crown and my third eye, when it comes to this this urge, like this deep urge to release these feelings that he has for the feminine that he's repressed and stuffed down. So I feel this explosion of collective heart energy is what's coming through when it comes to sharing our truth. So I feel this initiation coming through as this deep hunger. The masculine is like starving and hungering to experience this deep emotional connection with the divine feminine and the energies, and this desire has begun, this desire has been sparked, and the masculine is really feeling that urge to kind of interact with the feminine, with these feelings, to talk about these feelings. There's a lot of like initiation energy and a lot of pressurized energy building up with the root chakra. And that's where the Kundalini is coiled at, is at the root. And this desire is building. And I feel it's manifesting with this deep sexual fantasy towards the feminine. A lot of vagueness though, like a lot of fogginess, like it feels a little bit foggy. So there's this restlessness is what I've been feeling in the masculine's energy when I connect, when it comes to this new experience with the divine feminine. And I don't think they're quite sure what all of these new experiences really mean for them. Or when, I think the feminine is wondering, when is this going to happen? We've had all of this 5D connection. So a lot of this energy is driving the masculine towards his true satisfaction, satisfying these desires and fulfilling his destiny this life. So, all of this at this point really is resting in the hands of the fates. So in order for us to kind of bring these connections back into balance, all of this unfocused and confusing, relentless energy kind of has to be dissipated. So, patience really is the greatest virtue that we can hold, divine feminine, and that's a big part of holding that space. So I feel as the feminine comes into that balanced harmony, it's triggering all of this unfocused confusion, the spiraling. And I feel, the masculine is constantly daydreaming about what life would be like, to be with the divine feminine. And that really would really bring forward that fulfillment of all of his wildest desires. There's a lot of energy where a lot of these masculines don't feel worthy of the feminine. In the beginning of the journey, we had the masculine up on this pedestal. We seen them in that light. We've seen that soul star chakra. We've seen them in that halo. And in the beginning of the journey, the feminine almost like worshipped the divine masculine and had him up on this pedestal. And, the love was so pure, so light. And throughout the breakdown and the shattering of all of these illusions, the feminine now sees the masculine in that 3D essence and sees them without the mask. And so the scales have kind of been reversed, and now the masculine is looking at the feminine up on this pedestal, and they're kind of down here on the ground, and they don't feel worthy. They're afraid to come forward. They deeply fear rejection from the feminine, and it's like that would be the death of them if the feminine rejected them, now that they've kind of acknowledged the love on the heart. So I feel this vicarious energy is bringing the masculine through all of these timeline experiences in order to break free from all of these limitations that they've created. And I feel like they're entering through this gateway when it comes to holding that promise that they made with the higher contract and embracing this new feeling, this new discovery with the divine feminine. But there's this need to kind of release and let go of all of these expectations so we can freely move towards each other and encounter this deep love. But the masculine is very pessimistic right now, playing into avoidance, dismissant, avoiding, when it comes to the future. The masculine has this deep feeling of knowing what it is that he wants, but he doesn't know how to go about to get it because, he's on this like deep journey of discovery right now where all of these revelations are coming forward when it comes to all of these past errors, what he wants, what he doesn't want, triggering his deepest, darkest fears to come to the surface. And the fear of the unknown is eating away at the masculine, and that's what he needs to kind of bring into his awareness, this deep pressure. I feel there's this research, there's this investigation energy. When it comes to all of these cosmic energies penetrating deep into the masculine soul, when it comes to this solid foundation that the twins share together. I'm hearing that song, who sings it? When the bones are good. So, like the twins are here to build that solid foundation. So, the paint could peel and everything could break down, but if we have each other, that's all we kind of need, right? So it's like without building this solid foundation, the masculine is never going to be able to permanently secure feeling comfortable in his own skin right now. So, a lot of these masculines like to be very private in their relationships, and this connection has exposed a lot of things publicly. I feel a lot of the karmics have been trying to persuade the masculine or convince the masculine to do something that they really don't want to do, which is putting the masculine deep into this introspective energy, afraid to make an unnecessary mistake or failure, because he's lived his whole life in this place of insecurity, pessimism, and defeating self-criticism. And I feel this experience with the divine feminine is nothing like he has ever felt before. And we all know that first healthy relationship after a series of toxic relationships is the most difficult, because it is stepping outside of that box, outside of that comfort zone of what you're used to. So I feel the masculine's learning to correct his authority and to step into beginning this new experience. The twins hold such an enormous value when it comes to society structures and this great awakening and our mission for humanity. And I feel the discovery will come and the wealth of knowledge, the abundance and wealth of knowledge has been pouring in, but it's not going to have any real substance or really start working until the masculine follows that genetic authority and begins, to direct his life mindfully towards the feminine. So I feel this energy source that's been coming in has triggered this great pain on the heart, and this confusion surrounding the masculine as he voyages into this discovery of all of these past lives, being guided towards this intergalactic journey throughout, and the mind is not in control. So, I feel like the masculine's being whipped all around in the cosmic energies, trying to fill all of these holes inside of his soul. And this really has created experiences of deep insecurity within relationships, this resignation energy, and a lot of resistance. Because a lot of these masculines feel like a failure. And the bottom line is I feel, they have an opportunity to build that solid foundation with the feminine, but they're going to have to be open to sharing, to embracing this life's work with the divine feminine and providing their fundamental contribution when it comes to this collective awakening. A lot of these masculines have been wasting their resources, and for that reason alone, the divine is stripping them of that material comfort in order to open up the gateway of true abundance, which really is the quality of spirit. And the quality of spirit can only be felt, acknowledged, and honored in the emotional now moment. So abundance, really, I always say it all the time, abundance is an inside job, but abundance really is strictly a question of the spirit itself. At any given point throughout our journey, spirit is really not a matter of comparison. It's just embracing the wonderment of the Holy Grail cup, which is life itself and everything that exists. So, a lot of these masculines have been sleeping in a sleeping state, and I feel Godhead Kali is coming in to shake them awake. So I feel major collective movement forward, beginning this Lion's Gate throughout 2027, when we round the completion of this assimilation of these new earth energies. So I feel right now we're in the established energy of building that solid framework, balancing our morals, our principles with this energy, leading us to this expansion and prosperity, unlimited abundance. I'm being shown 55, master number. So this really is where the masculine taps into the possibilities of the spiritual realm, and it comes in with all of this emotional awareness. And this energy needs to be principled and balanced. Otherwise, this boundless energy will have no restraint, and then we risk, ignoring the awareness of the spiritual realm. So I feel this energy of like the witness returns. I've been really drawn back to the timeline of Christ recently. And once again, this awareness of spirit, it's really not a concept, anja, which is the brain, or the instinct, which is the gut. Spirit is an emotion, which is linked to our solar plexus. So it is the abundance of the spirit within our emotional body, within our solar plexus, that allows us to understand how we are perceiving exactly what it is that we are feeling, what mood we are in the moment, and how we can perceive all of this chemistry. Like, we are alchemists. The twins are spiritual alchemists. So I feel this susceptible melancholy all around the masculine as these waves of emotions are constantly moving through these spiraling cycles. And I feel it's like a spiraling cycle of hope to pain. And I remember the ascension spiral. You go up into the bliss, and then you fall down back into the 3D where you have to feel the separation of the bliss. So I feel the masculine is spiraling in the energies. One moment he feels like his cup is half empty, and the next minute he feels like his cup is half full. So a lot of mood swings, a lot of mood correction going on in the energy that is being created in order for the masculine to return to a sense of being healthy. So a lot of these masculines don't like being alone. They don't want to attempt to come forward to the feminine without ensuring that she is going to take them back, and they won't leave the karmic without that insurance. But Spirit's like, no, this is not how it works, Divine Masculine. You have to end one cycle to walk into the next. So it's this push-pull going on in the masculines when it comes to honoring and embracing this creative inner awakening that's taking place. So I feel, and really we are tapped into our most creative aspects when we are feeling deep melancholy. It's in the dark night of the soul that all of these thoughtful words, expansive energy can be around us when it comes to personalizing all of these emotional energies that we're feeling, and to be open up to these provoking energies of perceiving spirit all around us. So I feel the masculine is opening up to compassion. He's debating all of his outer influences at the moment as all of this awareness is rising, this spiritual energy, this wondrous energy that the cup even exists at all is what's coming through. So what the masculine fears the most is emotional emptiness and a lack of passion in life. And what I heard was, come out wherever you are. So it's kind of time for the masculine to seize this opportunity to come out of that hermit mode, because he needs that balance. I think the masculine, although he has a social life, he's been feeling all alone, and it's kind of time to integrate these energies. And right now the feminine is very intriguing towards the masculine. So I think, you know, this might be the weekend where the masculine starts that conversation. He is being called out of hermit mode, out of seclusion, as part of this integration process. So the success lies in the masculine recognizing he can't keep living in this cave. He has to kind of extend that invitation to the feminine. He's kind of being called out of that hermit environment right now, and to seize the opportunity. So I kind of feel this really is an important weekend when it comes to an important opportunity being presented, whether this is through friends or a third party reaches out. I know I've been feeling that pull to reach out to my masculine. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I deleted all of his contact information. I wouldn't even know how to go about contacting him. He's got me blocked on all social media, so I really wouldn't even know how to reach out unless it was through like a third party. But I kind of feel we're being given the opportunity to work with all of these core cosmic elements taking place, networking them, and creating that foundation of stability, and getting to the core of this relationship. So I feel the masculine is looking to establish a safety net before severing the old, is kind of what I feel in the energies. He's trying to secure the feminine before severing all of the karmic ties with the karmic feminine. So I feel the masculine might be reaching out, looking to establish this new opportunity first before fully ending that cycle. And I think that would just create another lineup of karma. So I feel the masculine will likely be moving to a new location or moving out of their current housing this weekend. I think the karmic relationship, the karmic feminine has had it with the secrets, the not talking. I don't think there's much talking going on. So let's jump in with a few cards and see what needs to come through with the cards when it comes to this message. But I kind of feel the masculines are deep in that energy of understanding the betrayal with the third party energy and how they threw away their wish fulfillment. So it's definitely a hard karmic reset. This is where the masculine has been in this karmic imprisonment of sitting in this truth, understanding the lesson, getting ready for all of these bubbles to get burst. I think somebody's bubble is going to get burst in the energy. But let's start off with some Spiritual Journey Oracle deck. Yeah, the energy is intense, not going to lie. Very, very intense energies as the masculine comes into this very powerful moment of self-actualization. So definitely epiphanies, realizations, a lot of triggering energies just flipped out. So the masculine's really being put to the test is what I feel when it comes to addressing these patterns with the karmic, with himself. All of this behavior has to be brought up, understood, faced, felt, and corrected at this time. We are in the home stretch when it comes to clearing these past life timelines. So the masculine is deeply being triggered as part of this purging, cleansing, and spiritual purification process. So a lot of things are being removed from the masculine's life. It's almost like that rock bottom, and that's also part of the journey when it comes to humility and stepping into compassion. But this truly is where the masculine embraces this journey towards fulfillment. So I feel the masculine's retreating, trying to, make the changes he's being prompted to make. And if he doesn't, then the universe is going to come in and strip him. Definitely a very expansive heart awakening is what I felt. And that card just flew out when it comes to the acknowledgement of the true counterpart. So his ego is definitely being distracted or subtracted. That tight grip he's had, wanting to control everything, and that's not going to be allowed moving forward, because the higher power is kind of taken over. And that's when I felt that pressure. A lot of third eye visions, activations are coming through. The masculine is receiving all of these vivid messages from the divine, prophetic visions, prophetic messages. I think it's creating like a spinning energy, confusion when it comes to all of these experiences with these new energies that have come in. And I felt the shift yesterday afternoon. So the masculine's really in these higher states of consciousness as he goes through this heart awakening. So, the last couple of weeks I've been told all of the 3 lower chakras have been a main collective block when it comes to the Twin Flame Collective. So I really worked on meditating and clearing those chakras collectively and keeping that pathway open. And then last night I was asked to do the upper chakras, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. And I have felt that pressure all day. So I feel an explosion of heart energy when it comes to the masculine collective, really opening up to this love, which is creating a new outlook. When it comes to the divine feminine, I think he's seeing her in a new light now that the veil of illusion has been lifted. And I think it really does hurt. I think it hurts very badly what the masculine is experiencing in the energies. So definitely a storm of brewing, because he has to come forward and correct these scales. He's definitely reliving the past, and I got a pit in my stomach, like I just got kicked in the stomach. And a lot of us have children involved in these connections. So yeah, it's a big kick in the gut is what it feels like. This storm has been brewing internally for quite some time. The masculine's been in hermit mode, silently reliving the past over and over and over again. The masculine is so sorry for what he put you through. If it wasn't for you, I don't think that they would have made it through this journey, divine feminine. The divine masculine is so sorry that he broke his trust with you. And he is so sorry for, being so dismissive of you and rejecting you, making you feel like you were not worthy of his love, leaving you out, keeping you in the dark, staying away so very long. Some of us have been in separation for, up to like 35 years. And, they've not really kept us in the loop. And I feel a lot of these masculines, are so sorry, because they really did make us feel like we weren't worthy, we weren't enough, that we did something wrong. They've never fully admitted that they've loved us. They weren't really there when we hit rock bottom. They betrayed our trust. A lot of these masculines betrayed our trust. And I think they're going through a huge emotional release, because the universe has a plan when it comes to these soulmate connections. And the masculine kind of has to lose it all in order to release the pride and the ego, because he's been hiding the truth of regret over these past decisions. He wants nothing more than to come forward and have that compassionate intimacy with you. But what's stopping him is these addictive behaviors. A lot of these masculines are alcoholics or drug addicts, and they cling to that to mask the pain. And I think we're on the precipice of this brand new start. He's missing you, but there's that struggle with the finances, big changes. Definitely by the time we hit that first eclipse on April 30th, a lot of things are being eclipsed out of the masculine's life as part of this karmic lesson, this regret, this remorse, this guilt. The masculine, is learning a lesson in, rejection. He fears rejection. And he has to grow and expand beyond that fear in order to travel towards the feminine, is what I'm feeling. I also feel his deepest fear is the feminine's locked the door because he knows how deeply he hurt her and betrayed her. And so this release has to take place, this purification has to take place before the masculine can return. And I remember that release for 3 days straight, when we first went into separation. I was shown all of the past lives, the karma, and what I came here to clear. You cry, you're sorry, you're so sorry, you know, because you didn't know. And so I think he fears the feminine has locked the door. And that's what keeps him from coming forward. He's been hiding this truth for so long, too. It's almost like they believe the illusion that they've created, but there's definitely a big storm brewing in order for this big release, is what I'm feeling, because these secrets that the masculine has held deep inside are not protecting him. I feel the angelic energy all around him is pushing him towards loyalty, to honor his self-worth. All of these secrets are coming out with this Plutonian aspect. And I feel the feminine holds this aura of angelic presence. And this is what the masculine needs for comforting and healing at this time. You know, loyalty. We kept these divine masculines like an oath. We've stayed faithful and dedicated to this connection. A lot of us stay celibate. We're not even allowed to interact with anybody else. If we get close to a walk-in, the energy is quickly rejected. And, you know, I think the masculine is now being tested by all kinds of external forces. Will he remain loyal? Will he step into self-worth? Because the feminine has remained loyal. And I feel a big lesson this lifetime is for the masculine to release all of these possessions and to just step into love and embracing his uniqueness. So it's kind of time for the masculine to step into devotion of this mission, to step into serving the collective and releasing these energies of lack and inadequacy. A lot of these masculines, you know, they seem solid, stable in their power, but on the inside, they have this deep sense of lack and inadequacy. So I feel the universe will reward their efforts, but they're going to have to release this inadequacy, this shame. And the shame really is from these past life experiences. And I feel the masculine is still harboring some resentment as well. And he's definitely going through a period of poverty, a string of bad luck. The masculine's down on his luck, struggling in life. But he should have been more grateful for what he had the first time around when he had the divine feminine. So I feel these resentments really have created a lot of negative perceptions. The masculine has blamed the feminine for all of these unfortunate things going on, when in reality he was wrong. He wronged the feminine. And I think as the feminine fully forgives, this powerful liberation surrounding the feminine is pushing the masculine to correct these past wrongdoings, especially when it comes to the children. I'm going to get a tickle in my throat, and I did not bring water down. So we're just going to get a few tarot messages. Yeah, this is some pretty heavy shit that the masculine is kind of sitting in right now. Definitely a huge fall from grace, exposure. I'll show you all the cards here in a minute, guys. Definitely some exposure going on with the Emperor reversed, the Five of Wands. Major power struggles. Major power struggles. So that karmic contract... it's like the party's over. It's like this big masquerade going on. I think the masculine's really been doing a lot of power struggle, playing into these power struggles with that that karmic feminine energy. Sorry, I'm feeling a lot of energies here. I just want to get a couple clarifiers on this energy, please. brand new beginning, though. We are starting this new cycle. So Aries energy. This is kind of where the masculine's at. We got the Emperor reversed, the Five of Wands, the Page of Wands, a message from his higher self. We have the Nine of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Empress reversed. So there's that karmic contract, the karmic feminine, she's definitely not an empress. And this is kind of where the masculine's at with this drama. The Hermit, the Knight of Pentacles reversed in the Strength. So there's definitely been some infidelity going on that's, being thought about. What's below the surface is the Queen of Coins, which I feel is the Divine Feminine. And then we have the Seven of Coins, the World, and the Five of Cups. So I feel finally feeling the grief of the feminine turning her back. And I feel a lot of the feminines are feeling disconnected as this cycle comes to a close. The feminine has closed out her karma and has detached from the collective shift. So I kind of feel there's likely going to be a big emotional blowout while they're drinking. Over drinking might be an issue when it comes to these addictions, which is going to create like an explosion. I think there's been some exposure when it comes to disloyalty, infidelity. Maybe the karmic feminine had an affair on the masculine. I feel there's something coming out. Maybe a child spilled the beans. I think there's a lot of like power struggles in the social structure. Neither of them know their worth, know their value. I feel like the masculine was able to be very narcissistic and controlling because the karmic didn't know her worth, didn't know her value. And I think there's been a lot of manipulation on both ends going on. Like it's like a masquerade. Everybody's wearing a mask, over drinking, partying, to mask the pain, the memories. And this is all getting blown up because the masculine's going into hermit mode to, transmute these energies and turn this lesson into wisdom. Finding his strength to come back and face the feminine because, he's feeling this betrayal. And now I'm hearing bed of roses. He just wants nothing more than to be in the presence of the divine feminine. But it's like he's sleeping in his bed. He made his bed and he's sleeping in it, in that bed of nails when it comes to this betrayal. And, withholding this communication and this truth, going towards, materialism. And I think the masculine is getting an influx of downloads when it comes to the mysteries of this connection and also preparing to come back with a solid offer. But I would like to look at this Empress reverse, Three of Cups, Nine of Cups, because I kind of feel there's going to be, there's going to be a rebalancing. That's what I'm saying. Something's being exposed, whether this is a confession or sneaking away. But the masculine, I feel, there's exposure here in order for this karmic rebalancing. And there's the wheel. That's what I was being shown. So this is definitely moving forward. That unexpected choice in love is what I'm feeling. So a lot of fated changes when it comes to foundations, when it comes to these legacies. The Palace of Coins, the Faith reversed, the Nine of Wands. So I feel, the masculine is losing faith when it comes to learning this lesson. I think losing it all. Taurus energy, the Nine of Wands, that is that core wound, and the twins do share that core wound. So I think he's kind of losing faith that he can rebuild. But, we are stepping into unlimited abundance, and the masculine's gonna have to listen to the higher guidance. So I feel a major ending, major lesson being learned. A lot of these masculines are spiraling downward, and they've blocked this communication. And I think it's kind of time for the masculines to come forward, that passion, that spark, that flame. When it comes to coming forward with that apology and really opening up their heart, I think a lot of emotional confessions are coming forward, divine feminine, as the masculine takes those guided steps to come forward and bring healing into this connection, a brand new beginning. But the masculine's going to have to kind of move homes for this victory. So a lot's kind of going on in the energies this weekend because wherever the masculine's at, it's fraught with deception. So divine masculine, reach out. They miss you. Divine feminine, you might even be pulled to reach out. to the masculine, something small, kind of like extend an olive branch to let them know that maybe you've been thinking of them, you miss them. And I think like just everything that we've gone through really has served our higher purpose and has happened for a reason. And I think soon we're going to finally understand why. Right now, I think a lot of the masculines are processing these deep emotions, which really is the very first step when it comes to bringing healing into these contracts. Lots of messages from Spirit. We'll see what else Spirit has to say. So they're definitely missing you. Honesty. I think the masculine fear is coming forward because the truth, I think, is going to be a little bit more shocking than you expect, Divine Feminine. I think there's a lot that you really don't know about when it comes to the lies. And the masculine fears the truth. And that's the truth. So, yes, the masculine's trusting his intuition and going to reach out. Although you don't see it, Divine Feminine, there is a divine plan at work. So we're protected. A lot of external forces are pushing the masculine to be brave and come forward. And I'm going to have to cut the reading off. My throat chakra is irritated. So that's what I got, guys. I apologize. If you would like to book a reading, please check out the description box below, and I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.